It's my one life, and I give it everything I got. I am music. I am sports. I am the culture. Here's a quick news break with yours truly. I'm the one and only. I go by the name of Mr. TALIAFERRO. Please make sure you're following your boy. It's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and it's all at It's Mr. TALIAFERRO. Let's not waste any time with this news break. We're going to kick this bad boy off in Atlanta, Georgia. So we obviously know that Gucci Mane is doing his thing with the new 1017 with artists like Pooh Shiesty and Fujiano lighting up the streets right now. Shout out Big Scar as well. But before there was a new 1017, there had to be an old 1017 with artists like Gucci, obviously, but also Waka, and then also an artist that I really loved. His name was OJ the Juiceman. Come on, I know y'all remember to make this trap say, hey, a quarter brick, half a brick, whole brick, hey. So OJ the Juiceman was a close homie of Gucci's, and we obviously know that Waka was a close associate of Gucci, who just was like, yo, I might as well rap. I'm around him all day. A lot of people don't know this, but Waka's mom, Deborah, was Gucci's manager at one point in time, kind of overseeing the entire 1017 monopoly at the time. She also was important into French Montana's career and also to Nicki Minaj's career. So OJ the Juiceman was recently a guest on the Big Facts podcast. Shout out to Bank and DJ Screen and Company. OJ did not say Deborah by name, but he did allude to his business not being together when he was an actual active artist, much more active than he is today.
Right, and that's why I for the first go round.
What I'm saying, why you saying paperwork? What wrong with your last paperwork?
Ooh, them folk killed me.
What you mean?
But I ain't make no money out the other side of the trap. Make the trap say, hey, I'm getting money.
What?
I ain't get not one coin from that.
Ho.
Not one, nigga show money.
What?
Your being the one handle.
I mean, I signed paperwork, but yeah, you right.
What your lawyer say in the end, though?
Man, black.
You signed the wrong.
He had no
These
lawyer.
folk hit me with.
Juiceman, you know I don't never do this lame what I'm finna do. But bro, you lame getting on there with Big Bang Black and them. Somebody stole from you. You know who stole from you, lame. And stop putting my mama. Yes, I'm gonna say men on the internet crying about who stole from them. And, man, y'all is lame as fuck. Some straightening. Talking about baby mouth. Damn, bro. I've been acting lame. I'm sick of that.
The boot ass, you a hoe ass nigga. And you ain't on no gangster. Never seen you do nothing gangster. Sad. You a hoe nigga. Talking about you and your weak ass mama. Both of y'all, you and weak ass. You know what's up with me, put boy. Lame man, straight to the internet. But you just in the talking about you don't want no smoke. But you don't get your goof on. You know what's up. Waka Flocka. Not one more time that I come on that show talking about I want some motherfucking money back. That nigga, you know I already came in the game with paper. Nigga. You need to rap for money. Nigga, man, quit playing with me, man. Y'all get me out of character, man. You a hoe and a half, bro. You know it, bro. You used to be a bad boy. Come on, man. Come on, man. You weren't no hit, man. You was a hype man.
It's always bittersweet at looking at where rap is today. Are things perfect? Absolutely not. Are there still artists that are getting messed over every day? Yes. But we are in a much better space today than we were just a decade ago. That's how quickly things change in this technology era that we continue to progress in, and seeing artists being able to make money on streams. You know, we've been in a pandemic, but a lot of artists, not all, a lot of artists though have been able to stay afloat just because of the streaming game. There have been no shows pretty much for the last calendar year, but a lot of artists have been able to just stay afloat until they're able to go back outside. You know, for some of these artists that are winning today, a guy like OJ the Juiceman had to walk so they could run. Obviously, 10, 15 years ago, artists were just giving away music for free. Literally, Dat Piff live mixtapes were making millions upon millions of dollars getting music from artists for a little of nothing. Now, then rappers were just so happy to be in the game. At that point in time, show money was so great. But nowadays, artists are able to collect some bags on the road but also make value in their music and make some of that revenue back that they got to pay to get things cleared, and paying producers and other people involved in these projects. So it's a good thing to see. I hate that for OJ the Juiceman, because he was talented and he had a moment, man. I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people who were not around then. OJ the Juiceman was a thing. For like a year or two straight, OJ was one of the hottest things out. That 1017 was crazy hot at one point in time. Hopefully him and Flocka are able to get on the phone. They can get to each other through other means. They can talk that one out. We might not ever hear from this story again, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Waka and OJ can get on the phone if there's something to talk about and figure that one out behind the scenes. I'm wishing them brothers nothing but the best. I've met Deborah just one time in person, and she is something. She is quite the character, I will say that. But salute to all parties involved. Let's talk a little NBA news. I know I often combine these platforms. For those who don't know, I run another platform called TALIAFERRO'S. It's a basketball platform. I do night-to-night highlights, all that great stuff, news. If you want to get caught up to date on your NBA news and anything else going on in the basketball world, follow me over there at TALIAFERRO. So Kevin Durant, one of the best players in the game. I know he's out right now, but KD, we know what his body is. He's incredible, one of the greatest scorers of all time. One of Kevin Durant's flaws off the court, though, is the Twitter fingers. He is the Meek Mill of the NBA. It's no doubt about it. So Kevin Durant got into it with a comedian by the name of Michael Rapaport. Many of you guys know who he is. He's a lifetime troll. So apparently Rapaport called out Kevin Durant for how he handled an interview earlier in the year with Charles Barkley over there with the NBA TNT crew. So Rapaport and KD got into it in the DMs. They went back and forth, and Kevin Durant started wild. And I'm not going to hold you. I'll put some of the DMs on the screen. But KD started talking about how he wanted to meet up with Rapaport in Brooklyn and fight him, how he wanted to spit on him if he saw him. He called him some anti-Semitic things as well. He talked about Michael Rapaport's wife. I don't even know if Rapaport's married, but KD went crazy, and Michael Rapaport had his share of that as well. He opted to actually post these private messages. That's how we saw all of this. Rapaport posted the DMs on Instagram account, being a little boy to cry wolf. He said, as most of you know, I receive threats and disgusting messages daily, but never in my wildest dreams did I think Kevin Durant will be amongst them. The snake himself is now threatening me, bringing up my wife and wants to fight. This is supposed to be America's sweetheart, right? KD didn't get hacked either. Hold this L, champ. I'm the real MVP. So obviously that's Rapaport snitching on KD. KD got fined $50,000 for how he talked to Rapaport, and he did apologize at a Brooklyn Nets presser over the weekend. Rapaport snitched because KD was wilding. I feel like both of them got some blame. Here's Rapaport's response to how this just played out.
Oh, this situation with Durant has gotten out of hand. I feel bad about it. I feel bad about my involvement in the situation. I feel bad that it's gotten this far. I met him one time. It was cool, cordial. I'm a fan. I met him as a fan. And the funny thing is, he actually had reached out to me about doing something that I call on social media the shame game, about putting people who talk on social media on blast. That was actually the way we met. It's not the first time I've posted people's DMs. It's funny when people are saying anti-Semitic things about me, saying racist things about me, threatening me, and they're Joe Schmoes. Everybody loves it. But when it was Durant, people got, I'm a rat, call that rat. Like I said, we met, he was cordial, and I hadn't seen him since, but it was definitely cool. But I don't consider him a friend. The way he was talking to me is not like a person who was a friend. I don't speak to friends like that. I don't banter with friends telling them, yo, when I see you, I'm going to spit in your face. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, cool. When you spit in my face, I'm going to switch it around and spit in your face. That's not the way I banter. That's not the way I bullshit. That's not the way, that's not locker room talk. Those are threats. They were made over and over and over. It's been going on for months. And on Tuesday of this week, he caught me on a bad day. That being said, in my opinion, the whole situation got blown out of proportion. I don't premeditate or contrive my behavior, my rants. on social media. They come from the gut. That's why people, I think, respond to them, whether I'm talking about politics, sports or whatever. But, you know, you live and learn. I know I have lived and learned from the situation. I've had to deal with ramifications that, you know, I'll keep to myself. And I know he has. And, you know, I feel bad about it, but it is what it is. And
you follow me over at Hoops Pharaoh for much more detail, but quickly, I'll just say this. I think both KD and Rapaport share a 50% of nastiness in this story. Kevin Durant, fam, I don't know what's going on with KD. I don't get how a guy that gets so upset at fans and how they respond to him on social media or maybe view his legacy. I don't get how a guy like that could talk to somebody like the way he did to Rapaport in them DMs. He went crazy. That's much more than an athlete or a public figure responding to somebody that was wild and calling them certain things in their messages. KD turned into the troll. Like, Kevin Durant, you're worth over $200 million. I'm sure there has to be something better you can do with your time. Like, Jesus Christ, your Nets are getting ready to compete for a championship in a couple months. You're injured. Please find something better to do. Play 2K, Call of Duty. Hell, Quavo was fighting over a Call of Duty bag. You go get on Call of Duty 2 or something. You need to find something better to do. Go make a family. Like, you're incredible. Go use that 7-foot offspring to go build the next generation of athletes with somebody, with a WNBA player or something. You cannot tell me KD is that bored where he has time to go back at Rapaport the way he went back at him. And then Rapaport, come on, bro. You started that mess with KD, and all this is the little boy who cried wolf. Kevin Durant responds. My thing is, I always say you can never tell a person how to respond. And what does Michael Rapaport do? He goes and snitches. Look how Kevin Durant talked to me. He cursed at me. He said this about my wife. He wants to kick my butt. Just nastiness from both sides of the spectrum. And it's fitting that this story ends with both of these gentlemen looking a little weird today, if you want me to be real with you. Choppa's looking to clear his name after he was arrested in Florida last week. So I'm going to read to you guys both sides of the story. Broward County Police are claiming that Choppa and two of the homies as well invaded into a tow truck company. So apparently a car that I'm assuming belonged to Choppa was towed, and Choppa and two of the homies allegedly jumped the gate at the tow company, and they were trying to get a watch out of the vehicle. And look, when if your car gets towed, if you ever been there, you know how it is. You're afraid of your stuff. You're pissed off that it happened to you. A lot of stuff's going through your mind right then and there. Here's the problem. Technically, when you're going, I know this sounds crazy, but even though it's your car, when it's towed, it technically ain't your car. So when you go inside of a vehicle that's in a tow lot, you're technically trespassing. And that's what happened to Choppa and two of his homies. When the police got to the scene, they found Choppa and the homies inside of the car. According to law enforcement officials, sitting on top of some guns as well. Some drugs were in the vehicle. So Choppa was specifically charged with burglary, possession of a firearm without a permit, possession of some Xannies, and possession of marijuana under 20 grams. Now, again, on this platform, it's still innocent until proven guilty, not the other way around. So Choppa did respond to these reports and obviously these charges that he's now facing in a Choppa way. He released a statement via his social media platform saying, to begin, when you start changing lives around you and begin to stand for something deep in your purpose, you become a target to a certain group of people and also the devil. During this arrest, I was set up. Substances were planted on me that I don't consume, use, or own. My name was lied upon, and I was mistreated in the process. Every media outlet, news channel, and etc. covered this story to paint a picture on a new surface I've been working so hard to create. This case will be beat, and I will walk a free man. Remember, it's innocent until proven guilty, not guilty until proven innocent. Asking my supporters to stand firm with me and allow God to do his work. Thank you, and I love you all dearly, from NLE. Now, Choppa's still a very young man. He's only 18 years old. I would hope that Choppa would understand the importance of his voice. I know he's been on a super, I don't want to call it a religious journey. I'm just say a spiritual journey as of late. I would hope Choppa would understand putting out erroneous claims of law enforcement officials setting him up only puts our community backwards, right? That don't work in our favor if we do that. I'm riding with him if he's saying these folks planting some drugs on him. I get that. And I want to take that really serious. That's why we're putting it out there in the atmosphere. But I would hope Choppa wouldn't be stupid enough to just say somebody planted drugs on me, knowing that there are police cameras nowadays, even in Florida, that record these incidents to a T. So I would, if he's gonna put that out there, we gonna ride. But those are some serious things that he put out in the atmosphere. I'm wishing Choppa nothing but the best. I'm sure Mama Choppa's gonna get on top of it and figure that out for her boy. I'm wishing all parties the best. He said he's an innocent man. Hopefully the legal system plays itself out. And if that is true, hopefully that's what comes out of this. A Louisiana judge has revoked NBA Youngboy's $540,000 bond that the 21-year-old rapper had set up, and it was granted by the Central District of California last month. So just to make a long story less long, Youngboy was in California, and the feds were behind him. He got arrested on March 22nd as the feds followed his vehicle. Youngboy tried to run. According to law enforcement officials in Cali, LAPD, and the feds, there was an on-foot pursuit, and apparently they were following Youngboy all because of an outstanding warrant stemming from a 2020 drugs and weapons related charges. We talked about that on the platform. Youngboy and a lot of the homies got jammed up at a video shoot, I believe. So on April 1st, the U.S. District Judge Shelley D. Dick ordered that Youngboy remain detained pending the trial, citing his history of probation violations and his characteristics. The Louisiana state attorney also pointed to Youngboy's wealth as a major factor, stating that the rapper has assets that make it possible for him to post bond and be released back into the public quickly. Two factors: Youngboy's history and characteristics and the nature of seriousness of the danger posed by Youngboy release are closely related. That's what the document reads. So for right now, Youngboy will stay behind bars until either the decision to give him a bond is changed or until his trial. It's simple as that. Youngboy had everything in place to get a bond in California. The California district granted Youngboy a bond, but Louisiana, a place that Youngboy's obviously from, and he's obviously had to deal with their legal system since he was like 13 or 14 years old, if I'm not mistaken. A judge there, because if I'm not mistaken, that Judge Shelley was the person that granted Youngboy his freedom a couple years back. She has the authorization to say, nah, no, we played this game with Youngboy before. He's taking his freedom for granted again. So nope, that California bond that y'all got set up, I got the authorization to say, nope, we're not going to do that right now. So that's where we stand with Youngboy. Now, what I don't know, and I will find this out, if Youngboy is currently incarcerated in Cali still, or was he transferred to Louisiana? My assumption is he's still in California with the feds, but I'll figure that one out as quickly as possible. It's an unfortunate situation for Youngboy. You know, look, man, he's an immensely talented young artist who, you know, he admitted a couple weeks ago, and we talked about it on his platform, that he was like, yo, I'm lost right now. And I don't know exactly what he meant by that, but, you know, the feds were following him. Maybe they were following him for quite some time and he had no idea. If he said he was lost, maybe his guard was down. I don't know. But he tried to run from the feds. I don't know where Youngboy thought he was going. In California? Maybe in a tree somewhere? But you're not going to be able to outrun the feds and their dogs. That's not how this thing works. That's not... When they got you, they've planned this thing to a T when they're following you, right? And unfortunately for Youngboy, he's going to have to stay jammed up until something changes. And again, it can change maybe a couple months down the line. The Louisiana judge has a soft spot in her heart again. We shall see. I'll keep you guys up to date on this story as it progresses. Yo, I don't want to sound like the Drake stan here, but one thing you got to watch with Drake and Jay-Z is that these double entendres that they be sneakily getting off sometimes involves things months down the line, sometimes even years down the line, that we figure out and be like, oh, wow, there was something else to that. There was a double entendre in that. So in Drake's Scary Hours 2 EP that he released a couple weeks ago on the Lemon Pepper Freestyle, he dropped off this bar. He was like, and the whole fam goon like Ralo. And I was like, man, that's a dope line. It's cool, you know? But now today, that line hits a little differently. For those who don't know, Ralo was an artist under Gucci's 1017. He has since been released. Ralo was an artist that was making some noise in Atlanta, Georgia. But obviously Ralo got caught up in a big time case with the feds. They claimed they found a lot of dollars of weed on Ralo in a private jet. They claimed that Ralo rented out an entire apartment complex just to sell weed and drugs out of it. Ralo's been jammed for a couple years now. He was set to get some type of a bond last year, but according to Ralo, his paperwork wasn't together. So Ralo continues to try to at least get out from behind them walls and figure some things out from the other side of them walls. But unfortunately, so far, it's been a no-go. But he released this statement via his Instagram account, giving the fans and supporters an update. He said, "Today, my legal team delivered documents directly in the hands of President Joe Biden and his administration, begging for a pardon myself. Drake name was #1 on that list in support of my pardon, along with dozens of other high-ranking people within our country and the hip-hop community. We thank him and everyone that's putting efforts into this cause. Forbes and others are using my case as the face for justice on marijuana. We're calling for public and all influencers support. Click the link in my bio. Visit famamericannews.com and all that stuff to help assist in freeing myself and thousands." I'm going to say this. Please don't take this the wrong way. Ralo would be better off with Donald Trump being president for his freedom today. Obviously, we know a couple months ago, before Trump got out of office, Trump released a lot of the homies of his, but he also mixed in some hip hop to try to change the narrative. So he pardoned Kodak Black and released him from prison. He pardoned Lil Wayne. He pardoned others as well, including Harry O. So I think Ralo's looking up like, wait, he just about to knock off what they had going on? He just about to do that? Well, where's my pardon at? Joe Biden does have the authorization to pardon anyone when he deems fit. I don't know if Joe Biden would pardon Ralo with a federal case, some big time evidence against Ralo. I think it is a little bit far-fetched, but hey, we've seen crazier things. Ralo is trying to stand behind the fact that weed is getting legalized in certain areas right now, and it looks like he's saying, yo, this stuff is legal somewhere and y'all gonna make me do federal time behind it elsewhere, right? I think that's where he's standing at, and Biden is somebody who's been an advocate of decriminalizing marijuana as well. So I think that's where Ralo's trying to play this thing. If you want me to be real with you, I could see maybe President Biden doing something like that at the end of his term, because there'll be a lot of pushback like Donald Trump did. He did that at the exact end of his term. So y'all could just add that to the 1,020 other things that y'all don't like about Donald Trump. But I get what Ralo's trying to do. He put Drake's name as the first name on that document in support of his pardon. Come on now, Drake's a mega star in the game, one of the biggest. Everybody and your mama like Drake. So that name never hurts. Drake doesn't have a checkered past with law enforcement officials. So, you know, you throw Drake on top of that list and you say, yo, President Biden, Drake wants me out of prison. You see, I got somebody who's a great example of a law-abiding citizen supporting me, high-profile person. You should release me. That's what he's trying to do. We will see if it works. I'm wishing Ralo nothing but the best. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Ralo and his situation that he's got going on. It's been going for years now. I remember first reporting on that story like 2-3 years ago, and we find ourselves with Ralo still searching for a bond. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this news break. I do not take your time, love, and support for granted. Salute. I'm out. Catch full new episodes of Pharaoh's music-based platform every day only on YouTube at itsmrtaliaferro. You can also find clips, updates, giveaways, and more on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, also at itsmrtaliaferro. For all basketball fans, make sure you tune in to Pharaoh's daily highlights, reports, and commentary on YouTube at HoopsPharaoh, and even more updates on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at HoopsPharaoh as well.